Alex and his classmates are boarding Flight 180, their final destination being France for a school trip. But something goes terribly wrong. Immediately after takeoff, the plane starts to shake. There's some wiring issue, and somehow it starts ripping apart, right before it explodes and kills everyone. Or at least, that's Alex's premonition. And then he's hit with deja vu. Everything is happening just like it did in the vision. Alex panics, shouts that the plane is going to explode, and chaos erupts in the aisle. Everyone in that section being forcibly removed from the airplane. They will miss half a day in France, but hey, at least they'll live. Because the plane totally blows up and kills all their friends. Now the FBI has targeted Alex, and everyone else is scared of him. But they should know. In death, there are no accidents, no coincidences, no mishaps, and no escapes. You can change death's design, but nobody can cheat death. Final Destination has such a fun concept for a horror movie. It cuts out the middleman. Death is the antagonist. But this isn't some cloaked skeleton with a scythe. This is nature, healing, fate correcting itself. A chain reaction that'll ultimately lead to your demise. In this movie, you have a group of survivors that are going to have a series of deadly accidents. It's nerve-wracking, and it's nauseating. It's a movie that explores these ideas of fate, and honestly, it's fascinating. There are rules here. Death's new design is taking out the survivors in the exact order that they're supposed to die on the plane. And Alex can see the signs, glimpses of the dangers to come. Since Alex is trying to keep everyone alive, and he keeps appearing near these deceased survivors of Flight 180, the flight he knew would explode, that makes the FBI curious. This whole thing is unique, thrilling, and creative. But it's also stupid. We follow a group of stereotypical teenagers, all hormonal and acting recklessly, and honestly making death's job a bit too convenient. You won't be mourning anyone's death here, and that's part of the fun. Some of these characters are largely unlikable. The dialogue and acting is, well, not great, but it makes for some decent comedy. The movie is actually pretty funny throughout, and there's a bunch of really great lines. It's like this movie strikes a perfect balance between smart and stupid, between scary and silly. And it just works better than it has any right to. There's one thing that this movie absolutely excels at. It's not wit, or charm, or carnage. It's tension. The domino effect is intoxicating to watch. You don't know what's going to happen, you just know it is going to happen. And your mind fills in the gaps before anything happens. The movie has this full arsenal of potential harm that can come to these people. And your brain cycles through all of those, constantly. The build-up is entertaining and stressful, partly because of the excellent eerie score of death looming around every corner, or the sick irony of John Denver. The movie is so playful and sadistic that it's impossible not to have a good time. This isn't like Friday the 13th where the teenagers are wandering around mindlessly, unaware that death is waiting around the corner half the time. All these characters are scared to death, of death, and they're all emotional, paranoid, and on high alert. These might not be the best performances, but it does feel like everyone knows exactly what movie they're in. Then, once we get to the end of the movie and everyone still alive is on high alert, death basically kicks into overdrive. Fate doesn't like being changed, and it's fighting them at every turn. It just gets so ridiculous and over the top that escape seems impossible, as if God himself wants you dead. It's a total blast. Also, after the climax, this movie totally sticks the landing at the very end. 3 of the teenagers remain. They learned that if you survive death's second attempt, it'll move on to the next survivor. So finally, they've made their way to France, but Alex is a little on edge because technically, death wasn't after him when he nearly died last time. He could possibly still be next. And what do you know? He is. Death takes a swing at him, and Carter leaps into action and saves him. And as it would turn out, Death is now coming back full circle, which means this isn't over. Claire and Alex will die. This is the perfect ending for the movie. Completely devastating and hopeless. But that wasn't the ending that we were always going to get. As we all know, test audiences are complete morons. But in the case of Final Destination, they're goddamn heroes. The original idea has Claire getting pregnant with Alex, and then Alex dies saving her. 9 months pass and she gives birth to Alexander, middle name Chance. And we have several scenes of her as a happy and healthy mother with a happy and healthy baby. And then Carter meets up with her and they talk about how now they have a chance at a full life. And then a leaf falls into the screen. Look, we're not here to feel good. We're here to watch people die. So the revised ending is perfect. Final Destination has limitless potential, and the original film is a perfect appetizer for what is going to come, because it's only going to get bigger and bloodier from here on out. Final Destination 2 is actually a fan favorite, and if you have to choose just one of them, it's probably the most fun. But I really think you shouldn't overlook this one. This is where the series really takes off. You know, before it eventually explodes. I really love this franchise, and I'm looking forward to talking about the sequels. So, thanks for watching, and for my subscribers, see you soon.
He was born in the summer of his 27th year, coming home